Welcome to the official YouTube channel for the Colin Cowherd podcast. Go on, hit that subscribe button if you're new so you don't miss any of our great football content this season. Steelers 21, New England 14. I had probably the toughest three beats of the year. New England beat themselves. 5 turnovers, bad decisions, multiple penalties. Aaron made a couple of nice throws, one to Metcalf, and another to Calvin Austin. Again, like you struggled to give the Bears credit. It's hard for me to give the Steelers credit in this way. Like New England beat themselves. It was funny. Vrabel's looks very patient on the sidelines. He doesn't show his disgust. I mean, he knows he has a young team. He has a young quarterback. I watched this game and my takeaway was, Jesus, the Steelers just made fewer mistakes. They made enough plays. I like Drake Maye. And I think I said this last week and the week before, like he needs another 15 starts. He just makes too many mistakes. I mean, he threw a red zone pick that was completely inexcusable. It was as bad as a red zone pick. And by the way, the Cowboys, Milton and Dak, threw interceptions in the end zone. It was worse. Where are you on Drake Maye?
Yeah, I mean, his numbers actually didn't look terrible, but if you watch the game, the red zone pick, I'd put that and Jordan Love's interception as the picks of the day. Yeah, his fumble was awful. I mean, they had 4 fumbles and they lost all 4 of them. The Steelers were my favorite bet of the week. And I'm with you. I was shocked how close the game was. You get 5 turnovers and you don't win if you're a good team by 20 plus points. Their offense doesn't do much in Pittsburgh. It's not a well-oiled machine. And I know
they can't run the ball consistently.
No, and Aaron, some of his big plays so far this year is just kind of throw it up. Like that's not really an offense. They have no sustained drives. Defensively, to me, they look pretty putrid. I mean, this was why I kind of bet on them being a solid team. Is I thought they were going to be maybe not top 2 or 3 defense, but definitely a top 10 defense. I just don't think their defense looks very good. Now they made some plays today. They caused a fumble at the goal line, the pick. Drake threw it right to him. They easily could have lost this game. I mean, I'm out on Pittsburgh. I don't think they're very good right now. And I think one concerning part is we have seen guys invested in Myles Garrett. They gave him a bunch of money. Myles Garrett is a freak. He's one of the most talented guys in the league. Max Crosby, every team in the league would line up to get Max Crosby. I think there is some concern. I know he fell on a fumble, but I think TJ does look his age a little bit, and they just gave him $100 million because I thought their defense was just going to be flying around hitting people, and you watch them. They don't really get to the quarterback. I don't know. I would be pretty concerned, especially as the AFC opens wide up. The Texans stink. Burrow's out. The Bengals are done. It should actually. The Broncos are currently 1-2. But if you're a Steeler fan, you've watched. You go, I don't feel great about my team, even though we're 2-1.
Yeah, no, and that's how I feel. I wrote all my notes down here, and Aaron, by the way, had a bad pick. But I mean, it was 14-0 Pittsburgh early, and I wrote down doesn't feel dominating. It's just they're going to struggle to put teams away, and I also think one of the problems is, and I've talked about this a lot, John, if you can't run the football, what happens is in the second half, your defense is on the field for too many snaps. Like today, the Bears ran the football. Well, the defense for the Bears in the fourth quarter was getting a pass rush. Guys had great energy, and a lot of it was because Chicago ran the ball, especially in the third quarter, and you can extend drives. And Pittsburgh, again, they score, but they don't. It's not like you feel really good about this team on third down. So I mean, listen, you are what your record is, but of any game today, I felt New England gave the game away. Had like 4 different opportunities in the second half to win, and either fumbles or penalties killed each one.
Well, the other thing, not being able to run the ball, they play in a division where it gets really cold. They play in a cold weather place, right? So you're going to have to run the ball and play defense. When I'm looking at their schedule, starting about mid-November, home against the Bengals, at the Bears, home against the Bills, at the Ravens, at the Browns, home against the Ravens. These games are not going to be San Francisco 70 degrees. I mean, it's going to be really cold. He's not going to be able to just sling it around. He's an older quarterback. So one thing that's pretty clear is these older guys, once the weather turns, harder for them to stay loose. I think Rodgers already looks his age. What's he going to look
Yes.
like when it's 30 degrees and windy at
Yes.
Baltimore or in Pittsburgh when it's freezing cold? We saw Roethlisberger at the end when it got cold. It's hard. You don't look
Yeah.
as limber. You really
I mean,
that to
listen,
me would be really concerning for me if our defense and we can't run the ball. What happens when the weather turns?
yeah, I mean, I thought Matt Stafford today a little bit. There were times you're like, boy, Matt looked off.
Well, he got
And
hit,
like,
and they started saying he started kind of touching his back. He went, "Ooh."
yep. There's a couple of games that aren't worth a ton of time. Seattle 44, Saints 13. What's remarkable is Seattle led 38-6 at half and only had the ball 7 minutes. I don't remember ever watching a pro football game where the first half felt like I was watching a pro football team against the college team. I mean, New Orleans was awful. Special teams, defense, offense. I don't know if Seattle, I mean, if you took the national champions in college football and said, if you took last year's Ohio State team, would they trail 38-6? It was, I'm serious. New Orleans is right now as bad as a team can get. I don't, and again, I picked Seattle to be in the playoffs. You know, they've really figured out how to use Darnold. It's really effective. It's a lot of
Yeah.
pitch and catch. They don't put him in bad spots. They're not impatient. Like John Snyder, they went and got Sam Darnold and they had a game plan on how to use him. And it's really effective. He's not going to put up the numbers in Minnesota. But this defense, this run game, like as I watch Seattle, my take is that's an organization. You know, Seattle, John, has been better run than people think. They've been a really they draft well, they develop well, they've generally been they've kind of done a pretty good job to remain in their division. They're always competitive. I watch Seattle right now. I mean, they blew Pittsburgh out in Pittsburgh. If Darnold doesn't hit, he created his own fumble. They're in the red zone to beat San Francisco. I think Seattle is really good right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we talk about with quarterback and offensive coordinator cohesion. You know, they get Kubiak, who knew him, and it fits. He fits in the Shanahan offense. And I think it was either the first or I think it was their first touchdown that he threw to JSN. It's like he's a good athlete. Get him on the move. And they ran him out because in this offense, you know, you saw Mac Jones today doesn't move that well, and it kind of limits
No.
what the 49ers can do on offense because a huge part of the Shanahan offense, which Kubiak might as well be a Shanahan cousin, is the boot action, getting your quarterback on the move, and Sam has a big arm. I'm with you. I think Mike McDonald is a stud. I mean, I think he is big time. And this division right now, all three teams are 2-1, and the Niners are 3-0. I mean, I think all these teams are all four of the teams are feisty. You know, I think the Rams, when they're on with Stafford, are the best. Obviously, the Niners are just well coached now with Saleh in the defense. And when Purdy comes back, I think Seattle's high end. They have a bunch of young, explosive players.
Yes.
And if the Cardinals, I mean, they might end up being the worst team in the division. They are not that bad. I mean,
Right.
you know, Kyler's a bizarre player because he's like, I don't know if he's good, but he's definitely not bad, and he can make enough plays. He's tough to play because he's so fast. He actually has pretty good touch on his throws. Like he's not,
Yeah.
you watch Caleb sometimes, like, there's a little because he throws so hard. Kyler has great. I don't know if it's the baseball in him. This division's tough. I mean, to me, it's wide open. I wouldn't even say the Cardinals are out of it. But, you know, I think Seattle and the Rams, who technically have, 2-1 versus the Niners 3-0, by no means. I mean, this is going to come down to the wire. They're all going to beat up on each other. I do think Seattle, the home field's kind of awoke this year. It feels, the Niners went up there and won, but that place was loud and rocking. I think
Yeah.
they kind of got their swag back. Listen, I think Sam Darnold, if you can get Sam Darnold for a cheaper price than Geno Smith and flip Geno for a third round pick, I think it was kind of a no-brainer move, especially get a little younger. And I think the one thing you see with Geno, and I bet Sam has some of this too, is Geno's 35, 36 years old, older player, 34. He doesn't play well against good teams.
He
So
doesn't.
forever when he was against Seattle, for those couple year stretch when the Niners were really good, he was terrible against them. You watch him
Yeah.
against the Chargers, he's completely overwhelmed. Watch him today against Washington, they felt kind of overwhelmed. Where Sam, like, listen, he's a decade younger, or 7, 8 years younger, and like there's
And
just
he was
more
always a
there to
better
work with.
athlete. Yeah,
Big
he was
time.
always a
Moves
better
much
athlete.
better. They both have huge arms, and he's just playing at a higher level. So I think it was a relatively easy move for him, and it's definitely going to pay off long term.